Okay, so good night again. So we'll continue with the English speaking videos. Of course, Hebrew is easier, of course, and more fluent and more. I can be more expressive, but honestly, I switched to English not just because I understood that maybe more people will actually will be able to enjoy these videos. At some point, yes, ironically, at some point I understood that actually the fact that I speak English only, make the Israeli claim that I am kind of like, a clone even stronger. But it doesn't, as I said many times, the problem is the ego, not any kind of empirical evidence, because people that are so consumed by the ego, they are hooked on some kind of theory, and whatever evidence that, you will show them, will only, make their, like, their initial assumption, like, stronger in their mind. Presumably, בהפוך על הפוך, like, they are all Talmudists here, Everybody in the Shabak, even if he's an atheist, or she's an atheist, they are Talmudists. Like, בעצם, אם הוא מדבר אנגלית, if he speaks English, it means that perhaps he's not operated by an Israeli operator, by maybe a Jordanian operator, presumably. I don't know, it's something along those lines. It's so... you can't really follow their logic. It's ridiculous. You can, if people want, just I want now for a grocery, to buy some groceries, yeah, sure, presumably it's impossible to follow like a person, just walks in Tel Aviv, it's impossible, it's an impossibility. So who knows who came back? Maybe he's a clone, maybe he's like, Saraf or Nachash or Chizam, מכוכב אחר, who knows? We need to test it, and is there a way to test it beside torture? So go ahead and torture the guy, and it was always like that, it's since years ago, and nothing can change their mind, nothing, nothing. You cannot show them any kind of piece of evidence, you cannot say anything, show anything, from, dig something from the bottom of the planet, or from the heavens and above, nothing will change their mind, because they are slaves to their ego. Slaves. But in any case, for quite some time I understood that I have no place in Israel, and I must of course run, escape this hell. Me and my daughters. I'm not going to raise my daughters in the trash can or the Nazi prison, and I understood that I'm not necessarily going to live in an English-speaking country, but of course English will, I will use English, at least for quite some time, and maybe also Spanish. I should say that, when I was younger, I had quite a high proficiency in Spanish, like speaking and reading, but unfortunately I lost most of it because of just I didn't use it. Even though you know how it is, if I use it, it will get back to me probably. But in any case, switching to English was for me was also some kind of like, some process, to start the process of getting rid of Hebrew. Like, it's going to be difficult because, of course, it's my native tongue, but I cannot listen to people speaking Hebrew. Honestly, like, they try to condition me against so many languages, but the only the Shabak, but the only language that they actually managed to condition me against is Hebrew, because I listen to Hebrew, I have a headache immediately. Just because it always lies. It's like a machine gun. Something that I actually take, it's a metaphor I've taken from Philip Roth, from, Marvel Portnoy, like, it's like, they use the language like a machine gun, you always need to take cover from their, like, words, and then, to wait until they're, like, ran out of ammunition, and then, presumably get out of cover and start your own machine gun with your own words. That's the way that they use the language. Enough of that. This is so disgusting. So, it was another reason for me to switch to English. Of course, I have many mistakes, and I also speak much slower in English, which presumably is a good thing, because it's all people complain that I speak too quickly anyway. So in Hebrew it's actually much quicker. So this is not a bad thing in itself. Probably. So we'll continue with English. Next I will continue with speaking about archaeology. I hope you enjoyed the lecture. I know it was very methodological. I mean, it was very, and I told you it's going to be that way because I think that methodology is important. I mean, if we don't want to be completely, you know, if we don't want to, you know, to be placed in the realms of, you know, of the history channel or the science channel, you know what I mean? Like if you want to skip, like, to keep, like, I mean, I try to be, you know, to be respectable whenever I discuss science or whatever kind of science. This includes the humanities. I mean, from my perspective, Madei Haruach, you know, humanities is also part of science, and I'm really liberal in like in my usage of the term science. Like, I mean, both, I mean, like from the linguistic perspective, but both like from the essential perspective. And I've said it many times. I mean, from my perspective, I mean, it's all science. Like, I mean, everything. I mean, מדעי הרוח, מדעי הטבע, מדעי החיים, מדעי החברה, psychology, it's everything, it's science. Like, I mean, so when we discuss science in the broadest term, also theology, like, I mean, I'm very liberal in that. Like, I mean, from my perspective, I mean, the definition of science should be broad, and I can explain why I've done it shortly in the past. It's not very important. Just, I mean, so, you know, that's my. There is a reasoning behind it. It's not just, I mean, you know, just, I mean, random preferences. I mean, there is kind of like a philosophy behind it, but it's not the time to get into it. It's not incredibly important. But I mean, this is my view of, like, I mean, that we should be, that there is no really point in, like, limiting, like, I mean, our definition of science, like, I mean, to very narrow kind of, like, I mean, set of, like, pieces of study. So, I mean, whenever I discuss science, I try not to be, you know, to be a complete charlatan. So, I mean, methodology is important. So I hope you liked the video, even though it was mostly methodology. So, and the next video will be probably shorter, and I will discuss less methodology and more the actual, I mean, episode from history, the history of Egypt, and I'll also discuss my own personal connection to these issues that, I mean, something that I don't speak a lot about it. And I'll do it in English. So, but before that I need to take a shower, and hopefully I'm quite actually tired, but hopefully I will master, like, more, you know, energies, because I do want to at least complete the archaeology's topic today and continue maybe cosmology, if not today, so I mean at least tomorrow, I mean, you know, to get it off the table. What can I say? Arms and legs. I mean, my daughters will require arms and legs. We will never be rescued from this Nazi prison by the movement of the tongue and the lips. It's impossible.